Zelenskyy to NATO, Don, T ever tell us again that our army isn't up to NATO standards?
Here's a summary of the article.
President Volodymyr Zelenskyy has asked NATO never to say again that Ukraine's armed forces, which have shown their power in the war with Russia, do not meet NATO standards. Please don't ever tell us again that our army does not meet NATO standards. We have shown what our standards are capable of, and how much we can contribute to the common security of Europe and the world. To show that it really is a powerful defense alliance in the world. The world is waiting, and Ukraine is desperately waiting for real action and security guarantees. The proposals are all on the table. Our needs are on the table. We need peace immediately. Reminder, Zelenskyy has asked NATO to provide weapons to defend Ukraine against the Russian attack, releasing details of the Ukrainian request.
This post received a score of 59,000, with an upvote ratio of 82%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
What he said, rather than just the headline. Please don't ever tell us again that our army does not meet NATO standards? We have shown what our standards are capable of, and how much we can contribute to the common security of Europe and the world.
They really are giving his comments aggressive snips lately.
How else are we going to know when he slams or blasts Putin in a speech if we don't have sensational headlines? Lol OMG, I thought I was the only one who fucking cringes when I hear SLAMSS.
It reeks of unprofessional and unethical news. It's pretty much a surefire way to get me to look it up elsewhere instead of visiting that particular news site.
It reeks of doors, too.
They've been armed, funded and trained by NATO for years now. And it shows, with the performance they've been displaying. I'd be surprised if at this stage they aren't within whatever standards are those.
NATO standards also have certain things that are harder to meet and take time. Corruption has to be really low. They have to organize their units in a certain way and adhere to certain communication standards. I'm not sure how many of them they comply to now, but it's not just a, are you well organized and effective, sorta thing.
It wasn't really that long ago Ukraine was part of the USSR, and Soviet systems do not interoperate with NATO systems. Ukraine just hasn't been pro-West long enough to swap everything over. Another big thing that you allude to about corruption is that the military had to be under firm civilian control, which until 2014 it kind of wasn't. And it wasn't clear even through the most recent election if the military would follow a democratically elected leader into war. If Zelenskyy stays in power, and defeats Russia, the US would absolutely pay for interoperability upgrades and get them into NATO fast.
Greater than Kindway. Well, I've never seen this done backwards before.
That made me chuckle.
It's not because a military is competent that it is also compatible with the NATO military. There probably is a lot of regulations that they don't meet.
Specifically, NATO wants ammunition to be easily interchangeable within all NATO allies. No one wants to be sent German ammunition that doesn't fit French rifles.
Not just ammunition but magazines. A standard M4 magazine will work in any NATO gun, FAMAS, G36, SIG 550, L85, doesn't matter, same mags.
Not G36, SIG 550 or early FAMAS. G36 does have STANAG adapter available, but I don't think they ever seen pics of the Bundeswehr using them. There are other SIG 55X series rifles and mag adapters available as well that can use STANAG, but they don't seem to be as prevalent in military use versus private market modifications. That said, many of these are all older legacy rifles designed prior to adoption of STANAG standard in 1980s. Newer rifles being developed and adopted now have all pretty much switched to STANAG standard mags.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.